Thank you so much, Jai, for introducing me, and really happy to be here. Since we are a small group over here, I want it to be interactive. I don't want it to be like a boring session where I'm just speaking. So just before I start, I think all of you all are uh, in your between the age group of 20 to 30 or 40. Is it?
I'm
Getting
16.
all
I guess
smiles.
people
Okay,
are
fine.
from
I'm
16
16.
to mid 20s like that.
16. Yeah, yeah, it's fine. So then I'll get an idea what to talk because in my presentation, I have stuff for 60-year-olds. So I don't want to bore you all with that. Okay, good. So what do you all have anything that you all have attended this talk? You all want to get something from it? Can you all ask me that right now before we
I
start?
want to increase my height, please.
What?
I want to increase my height.
You want to increase your height? Okay. Anything else?
I really wanna change my posture because like I stand straight, but then again I'll become like this. So I really wanna
Okay.
change the bad posture.
Got it. Got it.
I'm,
Anything else?
I'm like an
I'm
engineering
interested
student, so
in the
I'm all.
CPR.
I didn't get it. Sorry, you all were both talking together.
May I talk? I'm interested in the CPR.
Okay.
I'm actually an engineering student, so most of my time is on my laptop. So the neck pain, the hand pain, and everything is also there.
Got it. Anything? Anyone else? Alan, Purnima, Josh, Tisha, Harsh. Welcome. Anything you all want me to touch on?
Hello, doctor. So for me, it is not sitting straight. Like I always have that problem, and because of that, like I deal with a lot of back pain. So I think
Got
that is one thing.
Okay. Done. 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 Fine. Okay. So great. You all made my work easy. Okay. I'm just gonna share my desktop. Oh yeah. Here it is. Fine. Can you all see this? Hello. Okay.
Yeah, it's visible.
Yes, we can see.
Yes, yes.
So I'm going to just skip through this in 5 minutes. Okay, this is for your parents. Okay, now everyone ages normally, but yeah, sometimes what happens, there is successful aging or usual aging or accelerated aging. For example, someone tells you, oh, your age is 30, but you look 50. Or someone may tell someone who's 50 that you look 30. Okay, this happens because of many factors. Some are intrinsic because of health conditions, and some are because of our lifestyle. So, just going through osteoporosis. Okay, this is very fast for your parents so that you all can give them some good tips. What is osteoporosis basically? Bone, get the decrease in bone mass. So the top pick over here is a normal bone, and this is a very weakened bone. Okay, it happens. So old people, our parents or grandparents, if they fall down, they have a fracture. It's very the risk of fracture is very high in women because they are more prone to osteoporosis. So some of the important things here is low physical activity, relevant to all of you all who are not doing much of activity. Alcohol, smoking, caffeine, steroids increase the chance of osteoporosis. So basically, what is this slide? Bone health is like building a bank. When we are young, when we eat good food, a balanced diet, calcium is deposited in the bone. But as we grow older, it is removed out when we do not consume. Now, guys, everyone, please, once in a year, try to do a blood test of vitamin D. Most Indians, we have low vitamin D. Anyone wants to answer me why?
Protein intake. Protein intake is less.
Something else. Close. It's
Sunlight.
regarding correct. Who was that?
Fresh.
Good. Just correct. Sunlight. So vitamin D comes from sunlight and also the food. We are in this corporate world, engineering, whatever it is, we are in closed doors, glass windows, no sunlight. So very important to get sunlight. Okay, step to develop strong bones. Eat healthy. Please, guys, stop having junk food. Regular sunshine, at least 15 minutes in the day. Active lifestyle. Don't just sit for the whole day. Do this testing, bone mineral density testing, and vitamin D3 testing, and avoid smoking, alcohol, etc. So, what is good in calcium and vitamin D3? Celery, spinach, fish. If you are vegetarians, nuts, and all of these have potassium, magnesium, zinc, copper. So please try to include these. Don't just eat non-veg or junk food. 10 to 15 minutes. Exercises. So what exactly exercises? Weight-bearing exercises. Walking, jogging helps to put weight on the bone and makes you strong. Carrying weights. Resistance exercises with these simple bands. Balance exercises. And finally, yoga. Oh, also cycling if you can. How many of you all exercise over here? Anyone? None of you all?
No, I
Come
actually
on.
try my best to do those basic exercises so that I can get my weight in shape and everything.
Excellent, excellent.
Started recently only. Again, the same reason. Poster, thoda, have a good poster.
Shabash. So this is for older people. If your house is like this and you have old people, they're probably going to slip and fall. So make sure you keep it like this, clean, especially even if you have kids, handrails, lighting, remove clutter. Yeah. So in short, for your parents, make them to have an active lifestyle, a healthy diet, medications, vitamin D3 medications are prescribed. Uprise D3 is one of the good medication that many doctors prescribe. Okay, I'll just skip osteoarthritis and we'll go to so some good exercises over here, guys. You all can take a screenshot of this. Tell me once you are done. So it's all, of course, don't do it on your own, probably with a physiotherapist or someone, a trainer to teach you these exercises. These will help you in core and glute exercises. Done? Took a screenshot in case you'll need.
Yes, sir, we took it.
Okay. Okay. Okay, weight loss, guys. Whoever, less weight reduces 50% of the problems. If you have parents with knee pain, back pain, just reduce their weight and it will help to reduce the load on the knees and the back. Slip disc, osteoarthritis, knee, ankle pain, neck pain, jo bhi pain hai bhai, weight kam kar do. It will reduce your pain. So that will happen through diet. And one of you all asked me about height. Okay, so for getting a good height, the main thing is your genetics. So if your parents or your relatives are all tall, you have a higher chance of growing. But other than that, vitamins, supplements, having a good diet. Now if you're going to be, I want a zero figure, I want to eat less, and I want to starve, avoid meals, then you're probably not going to get a good height, because the main thing of height is a good bone structure, basically the vertebral column, and you need good calcium and vitamin D3. And other than that, exercising to some extent. See, height will come normally. The only thing, if you don't eat in your childhood or early teens, and that's when the height is affected. Okay, got an answer to your question? So all this Horlicks and they say drink all these things and you'll be taller. Of course, they are just claims, but ultimately it's just fulfilling the daily nutritional requirements of your body. For example, we need per gram of weight or per kg of weight, we need certain amount of carbohydrates, proteins, and vitamins. If you are not sure of that, you can just once in a way take a consultation with a nutritionist and find out, is your diet good or not. If you eat well, sleep well, and don't stress, you will have a good height and overall good life. Okay, good. Now going to back pain and neck pain. Have you all heard this thing called text neck syndrome? For Jai, I will say tech neck for all the engineering students. It's also called turtleneck anterior head syndrome. Okay. Now these slides will really help you guys to prevent neck pain and back pain, which is really, really common. Let's see how common is it. Okay, what is our spine made of first? It's made of bones. These are all these vertebrae surrounded by muscles. Between the bones are discs. They are like, shock absorbers, ligaments, nerves, and blood vessels. Our cell phone usage, we are all addicted to Insta, WhatsApp, Facebook, and our phones all day long. And even work is on the phone. So there are 3.5 billion smartphone users. 79% of the people are among y'all, age groups 18 to 44. I think in India it's less than 18. What do you say? When do we start using phones?
Right. 13, 12, 13 people start.
13 say na. Nowadays you see even kids playing with phones, babies.
Yes,
like
I was
my-
about to say my cousin is like 5-year-old and he uses a phone.
Exactly. And is this last line correct? Average time used 3.5 hours. How many of you all have checked your screen times recently?
It's much more.
Exactly.
Definitely
it's much
not
more than
3
that.
Yeah. So, oh yeah, this is this boy. During our teenage, we game. During our work, we're on laptops and phones. And can you see it's all a bending thing? We're all like bent, stooped for everything. But this, you all asked me to speak about posture. So one thing I would like to say, is there something called as bad posture? Nowadays, new evidence says, research says that actually there's nothing called bad posture. Now, if you see, what is the similarity? Do you feel something same between these two pics?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But in the olden times, neck pain was not so bad. Now, who can tell me why? Let's see how many of y'all are. It's logical. Okay?
Probably because newspapers say eyes पे strain नहीं पड़ता है इतना. Like the radiation is comparatively less. Or not
Damn.
there only actually.
Right. Anything else? Another point?
The average time is actually way lesser than like mobile is. Like you use it for 3.5 hours or more, but
Yeah.
newspaper is like a set of papers which will end within an hour if you're a good reader.
Okay, good. Y'all are really smart guys and y'all are saying the right points. Another thing is now newspapers, हम लोग ऐसे नहीं पकड़ते. We'll hold it wide. Okay, so and we'll start from left. Our head moves, our eyes move, but phone is in one small position. Again, our body, we get the forward shoulder movement, rounded shoulders, head is in. But in newspaper, there's movement happening. Our head is moving, our eyes are moving, our hands are moving. But phone, we are in one position only. Plus the fact about radiation and that color. So there's a lot of movement with newspapers. That's why older people may have had neck pain, but not so bad. So staying in one position for a long time changes the curve or the load on the structures. I told you now, bone, muscle, ligament, disc. So the key point from these few slides is movement. एक जगह में एक बहुत समय के लिए मत बैठे रहो या खड़े रहो. You can be in a bad position. Now I will tell you, Jai, sit in a straight position and work. Is that possible practically? Can you actually sit like that and work for more than 10 minutes? No, right? Your boss will fire you, your teacher will shout at you. You're in that zone ki project karna hai, exam hai, you will go in that position, right? When you're focused. Do you agree with me, guys?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes.
So, right. So basically, you can go in bad postures, but make sure you move. You get up, you stand up, you go to the washroom, you take a call, you stretch. So let's see how does this affect me? When you are in a bad position, these forward muscles muscles become tight, our neck, our chest, and our back muscles become weak because they are stretched. There's a curve reversal. We are called Homo sapiens, or basically we are supposed to be straight. You know, it's a S-shaped curve of our back, but we make it a C-shaped curve. So that is curve reversal. If we are shortening our curve, the lungs get compressed and is lung volume reduction. Okay, can you all do one small thing for me, guys? I want all of you all to do it. The admin of this group, just see the videos if they are doing it, because my video I can't see. Everyone, bring your shoulders like this. Are you doing it? And bend down. And try to take a deep breath in this position. Do it as deep as you can. Can you all breathe? Yes or no?
It's difficult.
It's little difficult.
Correct. Now put your chest out and take a deep breath, as deep as possible. And head up. Is there some difference?
Yes, yes.
Much more comfortable, I can say.
Exactly. Yeah. So lung volume reduction, you all understood. Just by doing that, the volume only is reduced. It's restricted. Spine degeneration and disc problems. Okay. Slip disc, nerve pain, numbness, tingling, all of it can happen if you are in that position for long time. See, it's not just long time. You are working at least 300 days in a year out of 365 minimum. Out of that, maybe 8 hours a day minimum. I know you all work 14 hours, 16 hours, 18 hours, or study 10 hours, whatever. So it's repeated stress on these that causes degeneration. एक दिन में नहीं होता है, साल लग जाते हैं. It feels okay. This, can you all identify with this? Neck pain, stiffness, radiating pain, spasm, headaches. How many of you all feel these things?
Me,
Like
me,
neck
me.
pain, headaches, and neck stiffness is to there only.
Right. And if not tended for too long, it can cause all of this. So if you all don't want arthritis, spinal degeneration, disc compression, which is very common in our people today. I work at Kokilaben, and I was working in a place called Key Spine Clinic, where many youngsters used to come. Headaches, approximately 15 to 20% of all headaches come from the neck. Cervico means cervical. Cervical is neck, cervical spine, they call it. Genic means related. So most of the headaches, or some part of headaches, are related to the spine. What can you do? I told you all, move more. If you all have good apps, you all are all tech friendly, put reminders. Please guys, do it. If you don't have a phone, I tell people put post-it notes, or you can tell your neighbors at work, move. Tell your parents, remind you to move. Get up every 10 minutes and move. Chalo, all of yours, 15 minutes up, stand up. Take a small walk and come back. Stretch a bit. Stretch your hands, heads. I'll show you all some stretches, but this is just to practice what I preach. वरना बोलेंगे डॉक्टर साहब 1 घंटे से बात कर रहे बैठ के और बोल रहे मूव करो. Okay, Fitbit apps, walk and talk. If you get a call, walk and talk. Use earphones. Position your device nicely, guys. If you are using a laptop and it should be at your eye level, okay, the top screen or the first word of your MS doc. So keep some books or stand and take your laptop up. Right? There's one more. Yeah, like this. Can you all see this? I know you all might have heard this before. Make sure you're sitting with your back touching the chair. Don't sit on the edge of the chair like this. And alternate between sitting and standing. So even if you sit in this good position for 1 hour, it's bad. 15 minutes, 20 minutes, half an hour. If it is not possible, I understand, guys, it happens, but try to move more. While sleeping, don't use 2 pillows, 3 pillows, use only 1 pillow. You can also self-release the point. So just keep your hand on your neck and try to massage this area. Can you all do it, guys? You will find some knots over there, like can't bolte usko. It will be painful. That is because you all are sitting for too long. but it'll be comfortable also. Or painful, anyone. So this helps to loosen these muscles. Are you doing it? Admin, is anyone doing it?
Yes, yes, so people are doing it.
Yeah, I can't see it for some reason. Okay, let's do this stretch now. Sit straight. Take your hand. Put it on your head. If you all can see my camera, can you see my camera? Yeah. Now your finger should be here and slowly pull this. Don't let your shoulder come up and hold it for 20 seconds and smile like that lady is smiling. And just breathe. So this is a nice stretch for the neck muscles. Don't overdo it. It should be comfortable. Change. Yeah, you feel this nice stretch here. Some of you all may feel pain. If you all are feeling pain, it is because that muscle is just overused. You can use hot packs in that case. I think there's a slide. Okay, thoracic mobility. So I want you all to show this. I have to sit on the chair for this. Can you all see me? Sitting on the chair.
Yes, sir.
Go to the end of such a chair like this. Please try to do this. Okay, this is a really good exercise. Take your hands together, interlock it, keep it behind your neck, and try to point your elbows towards the ceiling. Now, what this is doing, we are whole time in this bend position. This is reversing the bend and reducing the stiffness in your thoracic spine. 10 times up and down, slowly. You should feel the pressure in your upper back. Try to enjoy the stretch. So this exercise, the previous stretch exercise, I want you all to do it every 2 hours or 3 hours. This is a really good movement. I'm enjoying it actually. It's nice. Okay, thoracic mobility. I'll just go back so you all, chin tucks. So chin tuck is a good exercise too. Basically, you know, this is a forward head posture. Our ear, if you're looking from the side, should come over our shoulder. But because we are so engrossed in our screens or mobiles, we go forward, and this is called forward head posture or poke chin posture. Any of y'all, do you all get into this posture while working? Or you'll see
Very
your
often.
colleague?
Yes, so while working or while on laptop, it's always like this.
It's poke chin. It's like, it's very bad because these muscles are getting tight here and these are getting weak. Muscle imbalance, further leading to spinal degeneration. So correct your posture by doing the chin tuck. So let's do the chin tuck, guys. Look at me first how I'm doing it. Don't go here. Just come in, come out. In, out. In, out. How does Bharatanatyam classical dancers do now? They do it really well. Anyone does that classical dancing? So yeah, or anyone else? Angelia, do you all dance?
Not classical.
Okay, learn this one classical step. It'll help you. Okay, and the next is W's. So just make your hand into a W like this and take your elbows back and squeeze your shoulder blades together. Okay, I'm going to keep my back and show you. Squeeze your shoulder blades together. Just turning so you'll get a good view. Can you all do it 10 times? Feel those muscles. You should feel the pressure in your upper back or mid back. Can you all feel any pressure in this area?
Yes, so it's pretty soothing. It's like something is getting released.
Wow. Thanks for that feedback. It actually does help if you do it regularly. It activates those muscles and it can feel really good. But these are very basic stuff I'm giving you. Okay. Just revising this. So What can you do? Move more. Position your devices in a comfortable way. See this, I didn't tell you this. In this position, when you're holding your phone with your hand, phone at your eye level, there is 10 to 12 pounds load on your neck. When you take it 45 degrees, it becomes how much? Can you all read this?
Yes, so 50 pounds.
50.
Pounds and down 60 pounds. So if you all want to put 60 pounds on your neck, 60 pounds pressure, not weight, it's pressure. It is going to cause a lot of problem in the long term. So these were the postures. Standing desks, if you all are working from home, please try it out. Self-release, frequent movements and stretches, the side stretch we did, thoracic mobility we did, chin tucks, W's. Okay, this is a traffic police and beggar stretch. Keep your hands straight like this, like as if you're going to, Iron Man is going to shoot his power beam, or if you all see Dragon Ball Z, something like a Kamehameha or a traffic police, and pull all your fingers towards you. Feel a stretch. These are for guys who are on the laptop, for the engineering students or on the phone. Feel a good stretch over here. You can do the opposite way, or like a beggar and pull it back. These are important. Okay, right now you will not feel you'll be like, kya ye physio, kya ye doctor karwa rahe humse, but it's an investment for your future. 20 seconds you have got to hold it, but if you're in a hurry, at least 5 seconds. Ice pack or hot packs. Instead of taking medicines, guys, put a hot pack over here for 7 to 9 minutes. How many of you all who have, after having a warm water bath, you feel really good?
Yes, sir.
You do, right? The
I do.
muscles relax, feel fresh. You can use hot water packs. You can use these gel cool packs, which you keep in the freezer. Buy it. You can use it for any pain. Temporary relief, but at least it will reduce your pain rather than taking a painkiller. Because painkiller kuch nahi karne wala hai. It's not going to help you at all.
So
Do you need
when
any
to take hot and when to take ice, like can be used for
Good.
all pains?
Good question. So when there is an acute pain, like someone has hit you, okay, and it is swollen up, there's already heating, there's already warmth. We don't want to put warm on it. All right. Then we want to use cool. If you are playing football and you bang your knee, okay, if you're walking and you fall down, you use cold pack. Hot pack is used on a regular muscle, like, okay, this is paining since few days, tight muscle here. There's no inflammation, there's no swelling, then we use cold packs. Okay, now this is this paise bachane wala slide. If you go to an orthopedic and you say you have severe neck pain, they'll say MRI karwa lo. MRI, X-ray, do this, do that. But actually, is it really needed? Unless it is severe, only then we take X-ray or MRI. Okay, because research strongly suggests going for these tests only after trying conservative management. Conservative meaning exercise, medication, hot pack, cold pack, Because what is the last line? These findings can be incidental. For example, patient ABC has come to me. Okay, he had a disc bulge 2 years ago, but he had no pain. Now recently, he was on the laptop for five hours continuously, and he got neck pain, and he came to the orthopedic. Now the ortho said, do a MRI. Now MRI le liya. Very bad disc bulge is shown in the MRI. Now who is going to tell you that disc bulge is new or old? It could be an older one, 1 year before the incident. It may not be related to this current episode. Are you all understanding this?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So don't just go for MRIs. Try to get it better on your own with conservative management, and keep D3 and D3 helps for bone health. B12 helps for nerve health. Keep these levels optimal. Painkillers are temporary, guys. It does not affect the root cause. Okay, I'll give you all one short example. Imagine there's a fire over here in this house, okay, over here. Either aag jal gayi. Now, there's a fire alarm. Okay, the alarm is loudly ringing. What will you do if you will you put water on the fire, or will you cut off the wire to the alarm? Obvious question, right? You will try to put the fire out. So what is the symbolism of this example? The fire over here is the problem in your spine. It could be a disc bulge, or it could be you're sitting too long. The alarm is the pain. So basically, pain is created by our brain. Okay, it's the body telling the brain, boss, something is wrong over here. There's some excess load, or there is some small damage happened. So the brain creates this impulse of pain, and then we feel pain, and then what we do, basically, we'll not go in the painful position. We'll take care of it, right? So cutting off the wire to the alarm is basically stopping the signal of the pain coming from the brain. But either kuch fire ko nahi hone wala, the fire will increase and it will burn out your house. So that's what painkillers do. It has a temporary effect, relieving effect. Anti-inflammatories and other medicines may reduce inflammation, but ultimately in neck pain and back pain, painkillers are prohibited. If you see the UK guidelines, they kind of discourage having painkillers in back pain. Okay, so please don't go for painkillers. It has a lot of secondary effects in your liver and health. But saying that, if your pain is severe, guys, please take the painkillers. Don't just suffer. Okay. Okay. How will it get better? How long will it take? You may have these questions. Kyun nahi ja rahe? Depending on how long you have had the symptoms or how bad are your symptoms, it may take. If you have it since 1 year and you come to me and say, doctor, I want the pain relief in 1 day, not possible. It may take few months. If it is just come in 2 days, it can go faster. It's better, guys, to have an active lifestyle. All of y'all take 15-20 minutes, walk, jog. Who have started doing exercise, please continue. It is going to help you, because if you don't, with the lockdown and all, we're sitting so much, you may feel, right, your back getting sore more, you're becoming weak, you feel aches and pains. It is a sign. Your body is giving you a signal ki bhai chalo move. Your body is not meant to be a putla or a statue. It is meant to move around, to work. Why do people in villages don't have so much pain? Why don't farmers have pain? Because they are moving, they are exercising, they are working. Okay, got the idea?
Yeah.
And these are some things associated: elbow problems, thumb problems. The solution for this is again the last 5 slides which I showed. Move more, strengthen it, ice it if there's pain, keep on texting continuously, give your girlfriend or boyfriend a break. All right, just before this, any doubts, guys, till here?
So Zoya has asked a doubt in the chat box.
Okay, I'm on the PowerPoint, so can you all
Yeah, sure. So she asked that if does vitamin D affect our height?
your answer is yes. If you have, so the normal vitamin D level should be between I think around 100. Okay, 130 to 100 minimum, if I'm not mistaken, or more. If it is very low, see, basically what is a vitamin or what is a nutrient? You know the definition of a nutrient, Zoya? It's building block of our body. If our body has to be grown from a baby, we have to put blocks. Lego के जैसे block डालते हैं ना, ये block है carbohydrate, protein, vitamin, mineral. All those things make a bone. It's like a recipe. Now, if you're not in the recipe, cake ka recipe, if you're not putting baking soda, the cake will become flat, right? Am I right? Baking soda or something. I'm not good in cooking, but in the same way, if you're not having the right recipe, if you're not having the correct nutrients, the body also will not be optimum. So if you want it to be optimum, you have to have good vitamin D3. So you can do a vitamin D3 test, blood test basically. They take your blood and check in any health.
Hello.
Yeah.
Am I audible? Yeah.
Yes.
So it's not a personal question. Like I had this thing in my mind, ki if the vitamin D affects the height, and the main source of vitamin D is sun. So like in America, there's comparatively less sun, but still their average height is more than India. Why is so? Why is it so? I mean, I don't think it makes sense, but still, I thought it's relatable. I had this doubt in my mind.
See, you're right what you said, but Americans, they some of them spend more time outside. Okay, and also the second thing is they are fairer. So when you are fairer, their skin is more white, right? Some of them they absorb the sunlight better. The more darker we are, the more the melanin in our skin. Basically, the dark skin is because of melanin. It kind of blocks the harmful effects of sunlight and sunlight. So that is one thing. Second thing could be, I don't know. We are most of the day indoors. I feel like if you're going to work,
Probably the diet also is pretty different.
yeah, they have fresh food which has.
Yeah.
So vitamin D3 is coming to two ways in our body, yeah, Zoya. One is through the nutrients. Okay, when we eat calcium and all these food, it gives something called ergosterol, which is under our skin. That's like the raw product for vitamin D3. And when the sunlight comes, it kind of activates that and makes it a good vitamin D3. So probably you're right, both diet and sunlight and physical activity and fresh food over there, right?
Yeah. Okay. Thank you, sir.
Welcome. Anyone else? Questions before we go to the last topic?
Yes, so
there's
someone has also asked that they recently developed vertigo induced by cervical spondylitis. So what would you recommend?
Vertigo induced by cervical spondylitis. So yeah, that is common. Vertigo can happen because of cervical spondylitis. Because so what I would suggest is start first of all, remove the ergonomical challenges, or basically bending too much. Avoid those working in a stoop position. If you are a housewife, or middle age, if you're cooking at a low platform table, get it up. If you're a student, get your books on a stand or your laptop on a stand, and get a what do you say, detachable keyboard. Start exercising, strengthening all these muscles. When you strengthen these muscles, they will supplement your spine, and it will reduce the pressure on the spine. Basically, the head, imagine your head is 10 kilos. It's all the weight is going on your spine. You want your muscles to be pillars supporting them, and improve your vitamin D3 level. Anything else, guys? Is it getting boring, interesting, sleepy? You're welcome, Alan.
No, sir, it's really interesting. Many new things which we are learning.
Yeah, I'm trying to
I
keep it
didn't really
interesting.
know about all of this. So yeah, it's getting interesting.
Good. I'm glad. Anything else is there? Okay. Now going to the last topic. CPR. Sorry. So what is CPR? Okay. Before that, in case anyone, in your house, or you find anyone on the road just fallen down. Okay, what do we do? Okay, if you're a non-medical professional, you have to first check three things. Okay, airway. So we don't know why they have fallen down. Do they have a heart attack? Have they just had a cardiac failure, a lung failure? You don't know, and you can't understand also. You have to see A, B, C, D. What is A? Airway. One thing could be if they are choked, something is stuck in their, someone in the restaurant eats and they are not breathing. Check if they are breathing. If they are fallen down, try to keep your head or your hand near their face. See if they are breathing. Okay, so the main thing is to clear the airway. If so they are choked, you have to basically start hitting their back in a standing position and make them get it out. A second way is, you go behind them, you hold their abdomen and you just press it. Of course, don't do this without training. This is just a basic introduction into this topic. I don't want you to go and press someone and cause some damage. Okay. So if they have vomited, you have to put them in a sideline position so that everything comes out. So their airway is clear and they can breathe. Okay. Always remember, if they are in a straight position, take their head slightly backwards, tilt their head slightly backwards so that their tongue doesn't obstruct the breathing. Okay, if it's straight and the person is unconscious, the tongue goes and it can obstruct the breathing. So that is airway. Breathing, I told you all again, make sure they are breathing or not. Circulation, if they are bleeding, okay, stop the bleeding. How you'll do that? Take a cloth, a belt, or anything which you can tie, and tie it very tight, as hard as you can, somewhere above the bleeding area. If it is the wrist, above. If it is the elbow, above. If it is the shoulder, you will or it's any part of this body, you will have to put a compression. Stop it with your hand. Stop bleeding, because if the blood goes lost, there's more blood loss, there can be reduction in blood pressure that can cause further problems. Deformity, suppose the person had a road traffic accident and you can see the bones are somehow broken. Don't go and shake that area. You have to stabilize it in some way. If anyone has a spine fracture, or if anyone has a road traffic accident, the way you lift them and put them on a stretcher or something is very important. Because imagine they have a vertebral fracture. Okay, in the vertebrae is basically the spinal column. There's this spinal cord there. If it's a fracture and you move that, and the pointy edge which is fractured, hits the spinal cord, they can have a partial paralysis of their body and the legs can go away forever. So make sure it's stabilized. Okay, this is just very basic, not to scare you all. The best thing I would suggest in this is, okay, if you find anyone fallen on the road or unconscious or in your house, the first step would be, before step number 1 is step number 0. Go and see that around there's no car or vehicle or there's no crowd. So tell the people, make space, because nowadays sabko kya karna hai? Picture what is happening, selfie, all this nonsense. So make some space. Second thing is, make sure there's no danger, there's no car, or is there an animal attacking. Okay, second step is, go and shake them, hit them. Okay, hit them and say, how are you, what happened, are you okay, can you hear me? If they are not responding, the next step is call the police, or call 911, but we have to call the ambulance or any hospital. Then after that, check for breathing. Okay, so how you do that is, place their head in the slightly back. Can you see this head is slightly tilted backward in the pic? Open their mouth slightly, check if there's something in their mouth, and feel for breath. Okay, the fourth step would be, place your hands. This we'll do a practice of this. Place your hands at the center of the chest and give CPR, that is cardiopulmonary resuscitation. Why do we give this? What is actually happening is, the person, for some reason, their heart has stopped working and they are not breathing. So our body needs two main important things. One is oxygen and one is nutrients. So if the heart is not pumping, basically then the blood is not flowing. And if the blood doesn't go to the brain, it dies in few minutes or even few seconds. So we need to continue the pressing of the chest so that the lungs keep, when you press the chest, basically there's a vacuum created in the lungs. Okay. And when you leave it, it expands and pulls the air in from the mouth. So when you're giving CPR, basically it's like an artificial breathing for the lungs. The vacuum up and down fills the air, and the air helps the blood to get oxygen and go. Okay, you understood? And you have to keep doing this: 30 chest compressions and 2 breaths, rescue breaths, mouth to mouth or with a artificial breathing device. And you have to keep repeating it till this person you called didn't come. ऐसे नहीं कि 2 मिनट किया, थक गया और गया. So what we do in the hospital is, if this happens, okay, there are 3-4 people. There's first of all code blues. All the doctors and nurses come. Whoever is there on the spot, they start giving CPR. Okay, and after they get tired, there is someone behind them to immediately start, because it's very tiring. So they keep giving until the crash cart comes with a machine. It's called automatic external defibrillator that gives the shock. You saw on the ads, 1, 2, 3, clear, shock in all the movies they give. That basically restarts the heart. So you have to do this till the ambulance comes, okay, to keep the person living. Others, if you stop doing it and just look, it can be bad. We'll show one video.
Or hesitant to do regular CPR, compressions and ventilations.
I'm taking away the refresher course of everything has just changed, less complicated, and it was 5 minutes of how to save somebody's life, and you just never know when you're going to need that.
For somebody who can't be here today to learn this great tool in the park, what do they need to do?
So what we'll do is demonstrate for you how to do compression only CPR. What we're going to do first off is if you found someone that went unresponsive in front of you, say you saw someone go down, they clench their chest, they fall to the ground, we're going to want to establish unresponsiveness. Okay. So that's the first step. We're going to walk up to the person. We're going to shake and shout, hey, wake up, wake up, wake up. They don't wake up, you call 911. That way that gets us coming, and the person's going to have a better chance of survival if we can get that shock on early. If someone is unresponsive, they're blue, they're not responding to you, they're flaccid, meaning their muscles are completely weak, they don't have any muscle tone to them, there's a good chance that they're in cardiac arrest, and it's better to get CPR on early. So once we've established those things, we're going to want to pull the shirt up on the patient so we can identify the nipple line, whether it's a male or a female. You're going to want to take the heel of your hand, your dominant hand, whether it be your right or your left. You're going to place it in between the nipple line, and you're going to lock your elbow out. You're going to interlock your fingers. And a lot of people, when they first start doing CPR, you'll notice that they have soft elbows and they push down like this and they don't get a good compression. So what we're going to want to do is lock the elbows out, and we're going to want to come over the top of the patient. This allows our body weight to do most of the work and not our arms. So we're going to get less tired. We'll be more efficient doing the compressions. When you do the compressions, you want to do at least 100 a minute, and you want to do them fast and hard. Basically a good rhythm to do the compressions to. So if you're singing staying alive, those compressions and that beat, that'll be the correct beat to do the compressions to. So I'll demonstrate it for you right now. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Keep doing this. You're not going to stop until we get there. That or the patient kicks you off their chest. So you're going to keep doing CPR. Once we get there, we'll take over for you. This has been shown to be a great help. Since these programs have been out in varying cities throughout the United States, and we've seen a big increase in save rates.
Okay, shortly we'll end with a small practical session on CPR. But before that, do you all have any doubts?
Like that song is pretty fair. I've also seen in some other video that we have to follow the rhythm of that song, Staying Alive Wala. It's pretty famous in Germany, I think.
Yeah. The thing is, why? Because the beats. So basically, you have to give 100 to 120 per minute. Now, 1 minute has 60 seconds. So each second, at least 1 to 2 have to be given. So it's not like with the seconds, that is too slow. So it has to be fast. Okay, heel of the hand. This is the sternum. Okay, guys, just touch your chest, everyone. Can you feel this hard thing in the center? It's like so wide. Beyond that are the ribs. Can you feel the ribs over here? Yes or no, guys?
Yes, sir.
So if you give the CPR on the ribs, there's a chance of breaking the ribs. So you have to give it only in the center part. Okay, and the depth has to be 2 to 3 inches. Now, again, this is just an introduction. I would recommend all of you all to do a basic life support course and learn it properly, hands-on. Okay. So can all of you all get a pillow and come? A big pillow, and we'll do this practical session right now. Everyone, come on.
Sure, sir.
I want it. One pillow for me, please.
Everyone get a pillow. Someone is unmuted.
Guys, please switch on your cameras if you all can and get a pillow too.
So this is Sephra. Thank you for Sephra for being a model. So the step 1 is basically, okay, I can't be seen. You see the person around, person unconscious. You're unconscious. Don't smile. You can't smile when you're unconscious. Thanks for that. You go, there's no danger, okay, around. There's no vehicles coming, no people. Then the second step is, hello, are you okay? Are you okay? Shake the person. If they respond, means they are conscious. The third step is you check for breathing. Check for breathing, okay? So you just, either you can do this. When you do this, you can hear this breath sound, or you can feel, or you can just do this. At the same time, if you are good, you can check pulse. You don't, you can check pulse, okay, to see if the pulse is there or not. Now, okay, yeah, before this, so when you, after you shake the person and you find they're not responding, you call 911, or sorry, you call an ambulance, 100, 101, 102. Okay, then once you call and you check pulse and there's no breathing, then which is your dominant hand? So all of you all got a pillow. Keep it on the ground.
Yes, sir.
And kneel in front of the pillow. You all are knelt down in front of the pillow. Now kneel down straight like this. Take your dominant hand and the other hand supporting the dominant hand. And the sternum. Okay, the sternum is above the nipple line. Basically the round part in your chest, somewhere where the buttons are. Okay, over here. Now I'm not going to do it properly, but you all push down in your pillow. You all have to go down and up. So push from your shoulders, not from your elbows. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, I can see some of you are doing it a bit wrong. You all are here. You all are pushing in this way. Go above the pillow, exactly, and push from your shoulders. Not here, not here, not left, right. Okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, and sing Staying Alive with it. Do 30 counts. And then, so again, the airway part, the person, you should keep his head like this. Okay, so that they can breathe. So the tongue is not coming in the middle. And the mouth to mouth, I won't show it. But basically what you do is, you open their mouth slightly and you have to lock your lip and then give the breath. It's very important. 2 breaths. Okay, so 1, 2, again start. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Do it properly. Elbows straight. Okay, I'll just check how you all are doing. Good. Manan, don't let your elbows bend. Go completely above. Yeah, Jay, you're doing it very well. Tisha, I cannot see properly, but seems fine. Good. Zoya, a little faster. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, that is, yes, correct. Not too fast also. Don't break the ribs. All right. I think you got an idea. Good job. Thank you, Sephra, for being a model. I didn't tell her she's going to be a model. I just asked her a minute ago. She was shocked. Okay. So that is regarding CPR. I'll just give you all 2 more slides. What to do in case of a heart attack, or how to kind of understand a heart attack. So if a person has tightness in the chest, in the left shoulder, pain in the chest, shoulder, congestion, cough, palpitations, breathlessness, pain in the upper back, shoulder blades, the best thing to do is call a doctor and get them to a center where a ECG can be taken. So sometimes it can be due to gas, but it's better to go fast. Don't just leave it. Okay. And they will feel something is pulling in their chest. You can't do any home remedies for it. The doctor has clearly said, get them as soon as possible to a center. And like nearby would be, if you're in any big hospital, the A&E, accident and emergency, they have a very quick response system. So don't wait for these things. Heart attack. Of course, I'm not the best person, I told Jai, but I'm giving you all whatever basic knowledge I have. And the second thing is stroke. Any deviation of mouth, you see it happens in older people. Okay, this above 50, 60, 70, you may see the lip is going down suddenly. And when they're talking, the voice is not clear. They may have difficulty speaking, swallowing, water may be drooling out, their spit may be drooling out. Numbness on one side, they feel one side weak. Their hands, they are going to catch something, but the hands are not catching properly. While walking one side, they are falling down because one side is, the balance is not there. So these are signs of stroke. Okay, it can happen in people who have blood pressure. Heart attacks can happen in people who have a history of heart attack. So if you're, your parents, your grandparents, everybody in your family has had a heart attack, or strokes are very common, it is a really good thing to go for health checkups once you're 30, 40, and make sure your blood pressure, cholesterol is fine. There are no blocks in your heart. It's very important to do these things. Stroke and heart attack. Okay, I think, okay, we are on schedule. It's just 5:03.